We've all seen the headlines. Electric cars are too expensive. They cost more to charge than a tank of gas. The batteries catch fire. They'll leave you stranded on the side of the road. They pollute like gas-powered cars. And the list goes on and on. The key is, there is some truth to these claims. I'm John McMillian, founder and CEO of Shockwave Motors. And I'd like to take a few minutes and explain how Shockwave Motors is different and how we address these issues. I've had over 50 years of experience with electric vehicles, and I created Shockwave Motors to provide safe, fun, and affordable electric vehicles for the daily commuter. The first thing I want to stress is we're not building cars. We're not in competition with Tesla, Nissan, Ford, or any other automotive manufacturer. We are building motorcycles, or more precisely, a category of motorcycle called autocycle. An autocycle has seat belts, shoulder harnesses, regular seats, and steering wheel. It also has an enclosure for the passengers. There's a great line in the movie Jurassic Park where Jeff Goldblum's character says something to the effect of, just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. We didn't design our EVs to be all things to all people. We designed them for the daily commuter. Almost 90% of all commuters travel to work alone and drive less than 30 miles a day round trip. Because we designed our EVs around the weakest link in the system, the battery, we are able to use a battery that is 75% smaller than the typical EV battery. This means that our battery has 1/4 the environmental impact of mining and production as of a typical EV battery. Our EVs are so efficient that with a battery that is 1/4 the size, we have almost half the range of a typical EV. While our EVs do use tubular steel chassis and a roll bar protection system, the bodies are made out of fiberglass with a very low environmental impact. The basic materials are silica sand, soda ash, and limestone. The long tailpipe theory has been around for decades. Basically, it says that EVs pollute because they are plugged into the electric grid, which is powered primarily by coal. What people seem to forget is that the same power plant makes electricity needed to produce gasoline. In fact, it takes about 7 kilowatt hours of electricity to produce 1 gallon of gas. And that doesn't include the energy needed to drill the oil well, pump the crude oil out of the ground, transport it to a refinery, and then transport the refined gasoline to local gas stations. Our hyper-efficient electric vehicles can travel about 50 miles on the electricity needed to produce 1 gallon of gasoline. And they produce no on-the-road emissions. Meanwhile, to travel that same 50 miles, the typical gas-powered car needs 2 gallons of gasoline and will pump about 40 pounds of CO2 into the atmosphere. Our EVs are designed to be plugged into any standard 120-volt outlet at home and recharged at night when the electric grid demands are usually the lowest and off-peak electricity rates may apply. By using a standard 120-volt outlet, the owner avoids potentially spending several thousands of dollars to have special wiring installed in their home. While we offer level 2 charging as an option, we warn a commercial charging station often costs a lot more than simple charging at home. Charging at home can keep the cost to around 2 to 3 cents per mile. A typical lithium-ion battery weighs in at almost 2,000 pounds, and that battery provides a range of several hundred miles. The problem is those batteries can be damaged and burst into flame. On the other end of the lithium battery chemistry spectrum is the lithium iron phosphate battery. It doesn't pack as much energy per pound, but it's a much safer battery. This is the most stable lithium battery chemistry, and I've seen videos where steel spikes have been driven into the cells and they don't even explode or catch on fire. This is the battery we chose for our EVs, and now some manufacturers are switching to them. Our electric autocycles expect to have a go-to-market price of $19,950 and $24,950. This is less than the price of the average used vehicle, and this is before any federal or state incentives are included. The Defiant EV3 Roadster has a removable hardtop and seats 3 people. It has a single charge range of about 100 miles and plugs into any standard 120-volt outlet at home or at work for about 8 hours. So the Roadster has up to a 200-mile-per-day range. The Draco Sports Trike is a daily driver that is built for pure fun and excitement and has a top speed of about 90 miles an hour.
At Shockwave Motors, we believe the future is electric. Join with us and let's build that future together.